Hey everyone, I'm Pankaj and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about that one productivity hack that every one of us know about, but many of us fail to get it to work for us. And that productivity hack is to-do list. First of all, what is to-do list? To-do list is a simple list of things that you need to finish at certain time. You can choose to set this finish time, but it's basically a list. Well, now we have got what out of the way. Let's see how it helps. Well, you will maintain a small list of to-do that you have to finish today, or maybe in 1 week, or maybe in this month. But you can choose the time frame, but you are putting this list as a tracking method of things that you need to do and what has already been finished. As it has already helped you to know what you are actually going to do once you have finished one task, it's already helpful to get your productivity in line. But why many of us cannot get it to work for ourselves? The reason is we set so big goals in just one line, or we set goals which are not measurable. How do you define a goal which is measurable? If you can put a number behind that goal, that means it is measurable. If you cannot put a number behind that goal, that is not measurable. Think of a idea that I want to think about blog post. A blog post about JavaScript, CSS, anything that you want. Thinking about it is not a goal. You can think whole day about it and still you can say I'm not finished. So it's not measurable. But if you say, collect 10 resources about my next post on blah blah blah, JavaScript, CSS, anything that you want. And now you have a measurable number that you want to collect 10 resources that you want to include in your blog post. And that's how you can measure your goal itself and things that you have to finish. And now when you are set on doing your to-do task, then you are already looking for how many resources I need and how much research I'm gonna do. And once your needed resources list is complete, you can tick that off and feel that gratitude. And with ticking it off, it's already a rewarding system that you have checked one thing off, and then you can feel good about your progress itself because you have measured it. And measuring is the biggest part that can make you push for next thing. So what we covered, making the goals that are measurable. Now, the time frame itself. Don't set a time frame which you are already aware that it's not gonna be very practical. Let's say I want to finish a blog post, but I want to finish it in 1 hour. It's too hard. Well, it's not always hard when you know that you can do this in 1 hour, but I know myself and I need some time to do research, finish my editing and then proofread it, so I need a bit more time. So I'm not gonna set it as 1 hour, or don't set it too relaxed. Like if I set a timeline of 1 month, then it is too much time and I will be slacking off on my to-do task itself. I might forget about it as well. That's why set a realistic time frame. Let's assume today I want to collect resources for my blog post and prepare an intro for that blog post. This is a measurable task. Resources 10, 12, it's good enough. Introduction, a small paragraph with 4 to 5 sentences describing what I'm going to write about is already good enough. And that way I have broken down my think about blog post to something very tangible with some resources and with some initial working draft. Well, now you might be thinking, everyone knows about it and still nobody is making it work. Do you have any proof? And there is a huge proof that you will be amazed to think of it in that way. Have you heard of OKRs? OKR framework is a tool for companies to track their progress and focus on their goals itself. If you think in a granular level, these are basic to-do lists. As many people are working on one single goal or certain goals, let's say a company will set around 3 to 5 OKRs. And then it will be broken down on the team's level and stuff. I will not go into the detail of OKRs itself, but it's basically a to-do list where you say I have to write a blog post. It's my top level objective. And then how do you define the measured results of this objective? You break it down like, okay, write introduction, bring some resources, bring some examples, bring some images, and glue them together with some story binding text. And that's how you can finish your blog post. And now write it in terms of small keys that you have to achieve. The keys could be the resources itself. the featured image, the introduction. So these are the keys that you have to finish to achieve your goal or objective in this case. So OKR, and companies plan their 1 year, 2 year, 3 year by year progress on OKR framework, and it works. And that's why I think this can work for us as well. When we break down our goals, in this case to-dos, and it can work for us as well. When we break down our tasks into small enough segments that we can finish in a considerable time. Think of time that is like 1 day or 2 day, and then mark those to-dos. This way you are able to track them, feel the happiness of finishing something as well, and get the motivation to do next thing as well. But how do you track the bigger level of goals? That's why you have to maintain few lists of these to-dos. Let's say like I will maintain one list for today, one list for this week, and one list for 1 month. And this way I will categorize my work from today, push to the next day, or push to this week, or if I cannot finish this week, I will push it to the next week. And you know what? Many companies are working with agile framework, where many companies are adopting frameworks like a sprint-based delivery or radical focus. These ideas are exactly like to do, where you broke down your task into smaller chunks that you think you can finish in 1 day, and you are just taking them, finishing them, and the team feels good about it. Similarly, you will feel good about it, and your mental health will push in that direction. So next big question, what do you use for to-dos? Well, it's a really big question. You have to be very comfortable with the application that you are using. Well, that comfort level will not come from first day. You have to use those applications to bring that comfort and be familiarized. In the beginning days, weeks, or months, you have to force yourself to do these tasks by the list itself. You have to confine yourself to this small framework, but because of this confinement, it will bring you a discipline, and it can push you to do next big things. Maybe down the line you might not even need it to do. You already remember what you need to do, and you are so focused that you don't need to mark entry. Tools that I have tested already are Todoist, iOS Reminder, Google's Keep, Microsoft To Do. But the tools that I will be recommending here are some tools which are commonly available in all platforms, even on web, and that you can use to manage your task tracking. Let's say you are using Todoist. One of the recommendation is Todoist. It is available on all kind of mobile platforms, on operating system platform, and on the web itself. That means that you can manage your to-do very easily and very frequently. Another tool can be Microsoft To Do. Simple enough, but gets things done. If you are on Apple, our reminders and notes, they always support to-dos, and it's also good. On Android phones, I don't know what are the top to-do apps, but Todoist can work. Microsoft To Do is also available for Android, and Google Keep. And if not, you don't want to keep your to-dos on applications, you can bring these lists on a handwritten paper. With this handwritten paper, you are also writing down with your mental ink on your mental paper that these are the tasks that you need to finish, and then your subconscious mind is already thinking and working for how to finish these tasks. That's why you might have heard that students learn much more faster when they write it down by themselves. And that's the reason behind it, that you write it down, and in the same time you are also writing it down in your memory with your mental ink and mental paper. So you have to put it somewhere. If you are a digital person, go online, use some app, put some to-dos. If you are a person who does not like digital way of doing to-dos, then maintain a paper-based to-do list. Keep it short enough. Don't put too many items. Put top 4 items. If you can reduce it, much better, but 3 or 4 is good enough. And when you finish these 3-4 to-dos, you are good for day. You are already feeling the gratitude of the day, that this day has been successful because you finished all the desired tasks that you wanted to do. If you are finishing before the end of these tasks, then you must think about setting some bit more bigger goals. If you're not finishing your task, then you must think about how can I break it down more. Let's say I said 12 resources for a blog post. Now you can think about 5 resources that are going to be very helpful for my blog post, and that's I'm gonna just follow, and that's it. 5 resources. It's not that big of a deal. 12 to 5. You reduce your surface area of task to small enough so that you can finish it in 1 day, and that way you move forward. I've been using paper and pen for a while for tracking my to-dos. Only problem that I faced was I lose all those papers very frequently. I have like a different notebook on my desk, on my pocket, on my backpack, so I was losing these to-dos very frequently. So I started maintaining a bit more digital version, and I recently got myself a device called Remarkable 2, and this helps you to write digitally. and give you the paper feel, so it combines both digital and physical world. So far it has been nice for me to keep the to-dos and track them as well. I feel happy that I can go to my to-do list, check it off, and push for the next task. I will recommend you to do the same. Find something that you can get to work with and then move for a better system. And with that, I will leave you to your tasks itself. If you don't have any to-do list yet, prepare one. Put some 3-4 items and get them done by the end of the day. If you're already halfway through the day, put some small items that you think that you can get done by the end of the day, and see the change by the night. When you go to bed, you will feel that you have already finished some things that you wanted to do, and you will feel good about it. So with that, thank you for watching. Like and subscribe this video, share with your friends, and see you next time. Bye.